All right, guys, here's part two to where we picked up and where we left off. What Gabe was just kind of highlighting, kind of what he had at that pick there. So definitely appreciate, Gabe and, sharing all that stuff. And I do, and I apologize, guys. It looks like I didn't mean to victimize you. I'm just over here trying to make my team the best team that I know how. But I get it. All right, guys, I get it, and I'll do better. Okay. I'll do better for the betterment of the league. But let's be honest, right? Where would the league be without those on-time trade offers? Like it would just be a boring league at that point, right? So you're welcome. I'm giving you guys content here, right?
It definitely gives conversation, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So, all right, guys, that's funny. I enjoyed that. So, shout out to everybody: Eric, Gabe, Terrence was in it. Eric was there. Adam. So, I mean, that's awesome,
Yeah.
guys.
Terrence helped me get the clip of your sister and your
Yeah,
pictures.
that's
That was
hilarious,
him.
man. That's hilarious. All right, that's cool, man. That's cool. All right, so I already told you my surprise pick. I didn't expect Bryce Young to kind of go there. Trevor, again, you guys were split of the draft, even if it was your surprise pick or surprise, somebody was there. But I mean, what was your surprise pick? First round, second round, third round? I mean, what would you say, Trevor?
I felt like the first round basically went the way I had predicted it would, for the most part. I thought for Gabe, I figured he would either go Stroud or Young. I didn't know which, but whichever one fell would fall. Didn't expect him to take the other one, but that wasn't my most surprising. My most surprising was Tom grabbing Laporta in the late second at 2-9. I was sure Laporta was falling down to the third round, and I was primed to pick him up. So when he traded back with Jordan and still went after Laporta,
Hey,
I was very surprised. I think it's a great pick for him. I think Laporta is going to be a lot better than people are giving him credit for so far. But it's still, I figured he was a maybe mid third round pick that I was going to take early. So good for him though. I mean, I'm very impressed with the fact that he wanted his guy, another Detroit Lion, and he went after him.
Yeah, that he did, man. I was kind of curious. I mean, he only moved a couple of spots back, and I was talking with him a little bit. I think he would have wanted to take Hooker if he was still there, but he didn't. I mean, because I think it went. Gabe moved up to get
yeah,
Mayer or Meyer, however you pronounce it. I took Hooker. Jordan took Miller, and then Laporta or whatever that guy's name was shortly thereafter. So, but yeah, that was again, it's so hard to say what is a surprise. Granted, we have our own thoughts of an idea what goes into a draft and where some of these guys should probably possibly fall. But who knows, right? Like that could be the biggest, surprise pick in terms of the value and everything like that. So, what about you, Gabe? What would you say, man?
I mean that's a good pick. I mean it was a little bit of a homer pick for him, so that wasn't too shocking. But I get what Trevor's saying that the late second seems a little early for him personally. For me, I mean it came down to the fact that Young fell to me at eight. That Trevor took two receivers ahead of him, letting him fall to me. So it's not so much who the receivers he took are great receivers, Addison and JSN. So I'm not surprised he wanted them. Just surprised that he passed on Young over both of them. Yeah, so that was my surprise was
Yeah,
getting Young at the eight. That I would have never predicted that.
yeah. My favorite pick out of everybody's team was Quentin Johnson. Like I love. Don't get me wrong. Like you guys have heard me preach about Jackson Smith and Jiba for like probably better part of a year, and I still am I'm very high on him, but I didn't like the fact that he's going to the Seahawks.
Exactly.
I mean, Geno Smith. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I mean, he might be there a year or two, but not to mention like Tyler Lockett's still there. I think he'll still get his own. I still think he'll be very fantasy relevant. But had he gone to like any other team, like Houston, that would have been a clear, like, I think I would have took him. But just that uncertainty, like the quarterback, like Geno Smith could be gone next year, and like who's going to be the quarterback for the Seahawks? Like, that was so much things that I kind of went into it. But Quentin Johnson, man, like he's going to be a stud, especially with Justin Herbert. Give it a year or two. Keenan Allen's going to retire. Williams can never stay healthy. Like that's a solid pick. Like if I didn't like Gibbs and I hated Gibbs or didn't need a running back, I probably would have went with him. I mean, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, man. I really am. So again, it wasn't a surprise pick, but that's just my favorite pick. I love that. So I was hoping, he would kind of fall and I could try to trade back in with one of you guys. Hopefully you guys saw something you guys didn't like, but there wasn't even that option. But I'll give it till week 5, Gabe, and I'll probably put in a trade offer for him, just so you know that.
Yeah. No, your thoughts were pretty much my same reasoning. Is too many question marks with where JSN landed, with Gino, and how long is he going to be there, and who's going to replace him, and not that he won't be great. I believe he will be, but yeah, it just seemed like a much better spot that Johnston landed with a young quarterback that can huck the deep ball. Kellen Moore there, who's more likely to use the deep ball in that offense, and yeah, just between the injuries and the age of the other two prime receivers there, yeah, it was a toss up, but that's what made me go with Johnston.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, right, whenever you look at your draft, right, are you confident with the guys that you got? Like from everybody, I mean, I think Adam only had one pick. Like he traded in to get that one pick, but like you walk away, right, and say, hey, I'm confident my team is better today than it was yesterday. And that should be the ultimate, where it's at again. Me and Jordan way back, we're looking at, first round draft picks, in like the first 10 players drafted into a dynasty. And it's like a 50-50 hit ratio. Like some guys are going to hit, some guys are not, so it's just depending on who it is and what you have there. We are running out of time here, guys, with the Zoom and everything like that. But again, I appreciate you guys hopping on. We kind of covered a lot there. Gabe, again, appreciate that video that you ended up coming through there. Trevor, same thing with you, man. I appreciate you coming on again. I think this is what your second or third time coming on. You're
fourth, I think, yeah.
Pretty frequent. Yeah, pretty frequent guest here. So again, I appreciate it, guys. This is going to be a fun year. I know this isn't going to be our last time here. Gabe, thanks for coming on. Definitely want to have you guys back on again there. But let's go APAC Dynasty, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
All right.
I think this year.
Right. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and end it. Till next time.